Hi, this is Ramaji in San Diego, and I want to give a presentation on the I Am meditation of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. This is the whiteboard from the actual talk, and it's a little messy. It's got some nice details, but I redid it for this video. So, Nisargadatta Maharaj is obviously one of the most influential Advaita non-duality teachers who has ever lived. I Am That is very famous and has influenced a lot of people and brought them into non-duality. Unfortunately, he talks at such a high level, it's hard to understand the practical application. At least this is what I've encountered in my discussions with different people who have read I Am That and other books that have transcribed and edited his dialogues. So what I thought I would do, or what came to me as an inspiration, is to explain the stages and steps of meditating on I Am, the pure feeling of being, and where that takes you and how it takes you there. And this reflects my own journey with the I Am. So in speaking from experience, you could consider this a map or a model, but it is in fact what I've experienced personally. The other thing to mention is that I also learned some extremely valuable things from Nisargadatta Maharaj's guru, who is Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj. And there's a book called Amrit Laya Volume 1, and in it it's got his keys to self-realization, which is extremely valuable, especially when you get to this step here where you're discovering how to forget everything that you know, the stage of forgetfulness, and the passage through deep sleep, the passage through the real dark night of the soul, the midnight at noon, the eclipse of the sun, total eclipse of the sun, the black cave that the hero has to go into, the reality that's behind the wall of sleep. Anyway, extremely valuable. Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj, Nisargadatta's guru. Okay, very valuable. All right, so let's just get into it. I'm assuming you've read I Am That and that you're familiar with Nisargadatta Maharaj. If you're not, please read I Am That. And I start off by commenting that one of the sticking points that people have is I Am That is brilliant, and at the same time, Maharaj himself has said there were limitations to it. And in his final talks, he would say, or he had made the statement, I Am That was influenced by the editor-translator, and his ultimate view or ultimate teaching was different. Well, I mean, different in an ultimate way, right? So my take on that, here's my interpretation just so I can share it in case it's useful. I believe that what a Maharaj, I'll just call Nisargadatta Maharaj at this point, what he was talking about, what I think Maharaj was talking about is people get stuck at being the universal I Am, or the cosmic consciousness, the cosmic I Am, because you're the whole universe, you're experiencing that you are the whole universe, and this is a state of knowledge. And it's very tempting and tempting to think that you've arrived. But you have to go through the forgetting, and then that is what leads you to the absolute. So I think this is what Maharaj was critiquing. He was critiquing people who got to this point or thought they got to that point and they thought that that was it. And it's a standard by the book temptation to fall for that one, okay? So you can't blame them, but it's just a step, it's just a stage. It's not where you really want to stop. Okay, so let's get into this map. Nisargadatta's I Am meditation. There's 7 stages here. That's just how it came out. You might find a correlation with the chakras. I don't know. There kind of is, but it wasn't designed that way. It just came out this way. Came out with 7 steps or stages to this map of how to do the pure I Am meditation, the meditation on pure beingness that was taught by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, that he learned from Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj, his guru. Okay, they did a practice, they did a meditation, and I did that meditation. It helped me enormously. And then I went from that, I got to a certain point with that, and then I was called to move into self-inquiry as taught by Ramaji Maharshi. So aside from Ramaji Satsang, Nisargadatta Maharaj, and then Ramaji Maharshi have been my gurus. Okay, so here we go. The average person is running around thinking, I am the body. Body identification. This is the physical level. They're thinking, they are identified with the I thought, and they think this means I am the body. I mean, they're absolutely sold on it. They're in a state of total trance. Now, the path begins, and this is really just in terms of pure I Am. There's a lot of other ways to approach this process of awakening. But I'm going to stick to just the pure I Am for the purposes of this talk. So, the big step that a person takes is to recognize that there needs to be, and there is, a pure feeling of being, or the feeling of I Am, that is at the core of this I thought, or this identification with the body. In other words, if I'm running around and I'm thinking, what if there was no feeling associated with that? What if there was no feeling of existing at all that was associated with that? It would just be another thought. The only thing that makes the I thought special is that it has the I am feeling, the I exist, the feeling of beingness feeling associated with it. Otherwise, it would just be another thought. But because it does have that I am the body feeling, which is really the I am feeling, the being feeling associated with it, it becomes the king thought. It becomes the central thought. It becomes the ringleader. And then all the thoughts about me and you and them and us and the world circulate like a 3-ring circus, with the I thought as the ringleader. Okay, so the discovery is that you go to I am. You discover that there's a feeling of I am in you, which is prior to and below, beyond this I thought, and is its basis. In other words, you have to be able to find that feeling and recognize that that feeling is separate from the thought. That your confidence that you exist, that sense that you exist, isn't coming from a thought. It's not coming from the I thought. It's not coming from any thought. So that's the big step. That's what enables this process, is I am. And then you meditate on I am. You dwell in the feeling of pure I am. That's how Maharaj put it. You dwell in it. You abide in it. Then what happens is you begin to have the experience of pure I am, not associated with the body, not associated with the I thought. My experience of this was that I was a pure golden ball. And this golden ball was very beautiful, and it was rippling on the outside of it. And it was almost like, well, it was humming, like a kind of music. And so this was my experience of the individual pure I am, a golden ball. This was the essence of my individual I am, not as the body, but just as the pure I am feeling, experience. Localized, so in that sense in relationship to the body, but not based on the identification with the body. So still incarnated, still associated with the physical body, but experiencing pure individual I am feeling of being, or pure individual I am presence. It was a golden ball. It had ripples going on it, and it was humming like a music. And here's what it was saying. It was saying, oh, me, I love me, oh, me, yes, me, I love, love, love me, so delicious, so thrilling, so yummy. So this is the narcissistic core. This is the narcissistic core. That's what you get to. That's what I got to anyway. The narcissistic core. It loves itself. It's madly in love with itself. It adores itself. But it's blind. It's a blind love. It's a blind self-adoration. That's why it's narcissistic. The mythology is Narcissus got so stuck on how beautiful he was staring in the pond, he like froze. Oh, I'm so amazing. I look so amazing. Jesus got stuck on himself. And that's the status of this narcissistic core. It's frozen in this self-adoration, which is obsessive. It's an addiction. And even more than that, it's blind. It doesn't understand what the consequences are going to be. So the consequences are going to be that now you're going to associate yourself with a body, and ultimately, unless you're very, very lucky, you're going to become totally convinced that you are the physical body. And that's what you're really going to believe, along with 7 billion other people on this planet. Okay, now if you stay with this, so I saw through that one. Now if you stay with this, the boundaries of that dissolve, and you find, lo and behold, no, I'm not just this little golden I am. I'm this big, beautiful, cosmic I am. And you can see how this cosmic I am, in its decision to become a human being and take on a physical body, take on that form, it goes from a universal I am, pure I am, to an individualized pure I am. You see? So right here, nobody's going, oh man, this is a big mistake. Whoops. No, I am, cosmic I am, like Nisargadatta would say, Maharaj would say, go, yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy. I'm going to manifest, and I'm having a blast. It's one big party for me, right? The cosmic I am, the creator, God, if you will, universal consciousness, cosmic consciousness, I should say, cosmic consciousness, cosmic pure I am is having a blast. It's like a super Picasso, super genius Picasso, amazing, genius, creative mind. Sometimes this is called cosmic mind. So when it goes to individual pure I am, everything's copacetic, everything's hunky-dory, so far so good. But this is a slippery step once you get associated with the physical body. All right, but we're interested in moving forward. So you get to this point, and like I said at the beginning, this is a trap. This is a trap because it's so cool. It's groovy to be the universe. It's groovy to be cosmic consciousness, right? That's obvious, isn't it? So what's the next step? Well, let's, to summarize where we are. This is body identification. I'm the body. This is body identification, but you're now in touch with the reality that the meaning of this experience, the very source of this experience is somehow coming from pure I am feeling of being. Having had that insight, now you dwell upon it, recognizing it to be essence and source of your experience of existence. Then you experience it as individual, pure I am. And if you stay with that, then you experience it as cosmic, pure I am. The association with the physical body is here and here. This is the dream state. This is creative manifestation at an individual dream state level, and this is the cosmic dream state level. So we got physical, we got dream. Waking state, dream. The average human life flip-flops back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Waking to dreaming, dreaming to waking, waking to dreaming, dreaming to waking. And it's a closed loop for most people. And then there's the wall of sleep, the wall of deep sleep. Okay, take a moment, take a look at the chart, examine the map, and I'm going to get a drink of water. Okay, now we get to the really good stuff. We have the wall of sleep. Most people, because you become unconscious in deep sleep, they think there's nothing there. Or if there's something there, it's not valuable. Because nobody's talking about it. Right? Who talks about deep sleep? Unless, you need better sleep. And that is all another issue, right? A lot of people have trouble sleeping deeply. Partly because the prescription drugs actually can interfere with deep sleep if you're having trouble and you take those drugs. I take melatonin myself, a total aside, 3 milligrams a night. Fantastic. Okay, so people don't get past the wall of sleep. And it's like a black cave. A cave so dark, you cannot see your hand in front of your face. It's scary, right? And we could go into a whole thing about horror movies and how they use that, but we're not going to do that. But I will talk about one thing, which is that in the hero's journey, which was best described by Joseph Campbell, there is a stage of the journey where the hero classically goes into the black cave. He has to do it. Everybody else is afraid of doing it. Now there might be a monster in there, but it's also known, or at least the hero has learned, there's a great treasure in there. The Holy Grail, at least the Holy Grail for his quest, and in this case, of course, we know what the Holy Grail is: enlightenment, liberation, realizing our true nature. Okay, it's hidden in here. This was not it. Cosmic consciousness is not it. It's still the cosmic dream. We've got to go through this somehow. So the hero has to go into this cave, this black hole, this total eclipse of the sun representing the self or the spiritual heart. This is the cosmic black hole where the ego I thought dies. Goes into this black hole. It goes into, it reaches the, what do they call that? The edge of the black hole, where if it goes any further, it gets sucked in and gets destroyed. The event horizon. So that's what this is all about. So how do you work with it? How do you work with it? I mean, in the dream, you can work with lucid dreaming. Personally, I go by Ramana Maharshi's statement, which is enlightenment is bringing the deep sleep state into the waking state and making it conscious. That's what I go by. So we're wanting to bring this into the waking state. How do we do that? Well, Siddharameshwar Maharaj talks specifically about that. And what it is when you go in it, You can't see anything and you can't know anything. So what you do is you forget everything that you know. You let go of everything. You let go of all of your knowledge. This was universal knowledge. So this is the biggest sacrifice of all. But you let go of it, you forget everything. So you're going from I am going to the store and recognizing that I am is the essence of so-and-so is going to the store. Without that I am, Joe going to the store doesn't mean a thing. Then you go, well, what really is that? And you dwell in it and you discover it, you deepen it, you dive into it. Oh, it's pure I am, not associated with the body. And then you realize, wait a minute, where does that come from? What is that really? That is cosmic. Universal I am. But now we get to the big secret, which is what's hidden in the darkness of deep sleep. And you go through it by forgetting everything you know. Now, when I went through this phase, I was surprised it only lasted a month and a half. I thought it might go on a long time. And I might talk about it some other time, but let me just say it was disconcerting, but yet, Siddharameshwar Maharaj says it's not the same as deep sleep. It's a meditation in deep sleep, or that takes you through deep sleep. So you're forgetting everything you know. It's forgetting and then forgetting that you're forgetting. It's forgetting that you forgot. So you don't even remember what you knew. You don't remember knowing what you knew. You forget that you ever knew it. So you're forgetting the forgetting. That's where you have to get to. So after you go through that, you forget everything. And trust me, when you get to that place, you'll be guided. So don't worry about how to do that. Get here first, then worry about that. Okay, what happens after that is then you experience what you could call the true I. Although you're not quite there, but you're experiencing the first emergence of the purest form of the I that knows itself, if that makes sense. The truth body is the I that's going, I exist, I am pure, I am the truth. You know, like in the Bible, Jesus says, I am the, or is supposed to have said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Well, this would be that, one way of looking at it. Here we have the causal body, you know, physical body, astral body, causal body. Now, according to Siddharameshwar, this is supracausal body or Mahakarana body. This is Karana body, this is Mahakarana body. This is causal body, this is supracausal body or supercausal body. So it's true like crystal, you know, with a light in it. But yet it's not the absolute light itself. The absolute light itself does not know itself. It does not know it exists. It does not know itself as anything. It does not know itself as I. It is the unborn. It is the state of absolute not knowing. So this truth body, even though it's pure, right, and clear, nonetheless is a little step, or maybe a big step, I don't know, but it's a step away from the absolute, from para-Brahman. Okay, the absolute. It's a step away from that. So you can see how that might work. Well, now, so you then have to let go of that. Because that was the first step of emerging as I, which eventually, and then you see what happens, it's a slippery step, right? That first step's a doozy, because standing here, standing in this as the truth body, you're going, I am the truth, I am the light, the way, and the truth, right? Whoops. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next is somebody gets you drunk, conks you on the head, then you wake up in a body, right? It's pretty tricky, but so there's not really well, this is going to go there. It's not the final stability. This is always has a subtle micro tendency to go here, to go to deep sleep, and that's the unconsciousness. That's the deep sleep is a good name for it. You're passed out. You're in a coma. You've actually fallen into the trance. This is tamasic dullness, ignorance, blindness, stupidity. It's blissful, but in an ignorant, unconscious way. Sort of like a spiritual coma, a blissful spiritual coma. This is awake, aware and clear. But like I say, it's not the light. It's the light still being radiated through a crystal. So as pure as the crystal might be, it's not the same as the light. You can look through the crystal, but it's not the same as a perfect diamond even, you could say. It's not the same. Now, finally, the final step. You see the limitations, you recognize, you feel, you experience, you sense, you notice, you observe the limitations of this truth body. And you finally let go of all differences, all otherness. You let go of the world itself. You recognize that even the world itself is just a thought or a concept. And then you discover, for want of a better expression, pure nothingness, which is pure everythingness. And what's distinguishing about it is that you don't actually lose identity. But what is going on is you don't have the experience of knowing that you exist. You're not conscious of yourself as any kind of separate I or conscious of yourself as I. What you are is universal I consciousness. Universal I consciousness, or Shiva consciousness. So there's only I, only pure I everywhere, universal I. It does not know itself, and that's what saves it. The truth body knows itself, it knows I. In the absolute, it does not. And that's why it's the ultimate purity. So in this universal I consciousness, everything that you experience is yourself. It is I, but yet there's no I saying I exist. You could say I like Ramana Maharshi says, and that's accurate, in the sense that everything's an I. Everything is an echo of I. So everything and everyone literally is yourself. There is no world because there's only I. There's only the self. There's only the absolute, which is beyond even I am, because I am an even a pure I that's manifested itself, externalized from the absolute, and has become self-conscious and knows I, knows itself that it exists, even as truth. That is a limitation. Okay, so this is my presentation on the path of meditating on the pure I am, or feeling of being, as taught by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj and his guru, Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj. It's my interpretation based on my experience. It's a map that I created, and I stand by it. I feel Nisargadatta's blessing. I feel his presence. I feel at times in my process, and recently actually, felt him overshadowing me, so to speak, in a very good way. Feeling his presence, which is like a mountain of peace. So massive, this peace. Anyway, out of that most recent blessing from him, this map emerged based on my experience, based on what I've learned and forgotten. But this is my map for you. I hope it's useful to you. I hope it helps you understand Sri Nisargadatta's teachings and his books. So here I'll stand aside and let you take a look at it.